Actually, as I told you, my father lost his parents at early age. He had two brothers and two sisters above him, and they were well educated. Two brothers. One of them was in Dhule. Other died early. But he was a pleader, and he was very much in social work. So he said, Dattatreya was the name of my father. That Dattu, you leave your education now and start farming. So my father left education after fourth grade only, fourth grade. So about 4 5 years he went. Then he was sent to a Shetki Shala we call it. That means school for farmers. So for 1 or 2 years he went there and he started farming. He wanted to study very much, but he could not. Okay. So for all our brothers and sisters, he made it a point that we should be well educated. Wherein my eldest sister was there, we had school up to fifth standard in my village, and there was no way to further educate the children. Even in Nifad, we had up to seventh grade school only. So my eldest sister could not pursue much of study. She was kept with cousins. She completed SSC. But then my father wanted her to be self-reliant. So he put her in Mumbai, and there was a course known as midwife.
Mm-hmm.
The ladies who used to, do the deliveries.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they were certified like to, and some of them had established their hospitals also. Okay, so she did that. And after her marriage, she married to a military man, so she could not pursue her career. The second sister did her SSC because by that time my father had started a school in Nifad with so many people. It was a very funny time. Government used to give grant about 30% at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
It was very difficult to run those schools. But one money lender from Nifad, he was very generous. My father was known as Dattu Kaka. He said, if Dattu Kaka takes the guarantee, I am ready to advance any amount of loan without interest to the school. That money lender did not have a son, so he wanted to have some philanthropy. So that is how the school was running, and that is why all of us could do SSC at Nifad. Then that second sister, he sent her to Bordi for Montessori education. Later on, she did CP Ed and DP Ed. That means certificate in physical education, diploma in certificate education. So she could become a school teacher,
I see.
and now she's having a pension as a school teacher. Now she is 90-year-old
Yeah, yeah,
also.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
your
then
father, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So one
yeah,
question for your father, right?
yeah,
So he was a farmer, and
yeah,
he at least believed for the girls' education as in those days. I mean, we are talking about around 1940s, right? So,
yeah, yeah,
which is very commendable, I think, because a lot of people, there was a lot of stigma around that, right? Women could not progress and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
very commendable of that.
Yeah, yeah. None of the ladies from our village,
Mm-hmm.
they graduated in that time. During my time also, not
Right.
even my elder sisters, but in my time also, I had five girl students in my first standard,
Mm-hmm.
and by fifth standard there was no girl student. We were five of us in the fifth standard. Okay, you will laugh at it. So only five students, so
Sir,
personal
story
attention to everyone.
story of engineering, sir. Not too many girl students.
Yeah. Okay. No, no, not too many. No, none. So then up to fifth, I studied in Koture. Then up to seventh, we had a local board school in Nifad. And then thereafter, we had high school. Okay. So eighth onwards, we started learning ABCD. Okay. So eighth to 11, I was in Nifad. Uh, it was difficult to have good teachers also, but teachers were dedicated. Okay, so we have no complaint about that. taken care of very well. And then 2 years in Nasik. And during that, I joined NCC. And there was a wave that we'll have war with China. And that is why we concentrated very much on NCC. Okay. So much so that I did 3 1-month camps during my, equivalent to your 12th grade now. Where 12th grade people now are in a race, right? We were we were 3 months away, and that means the one was in Baroda, one was in Mumbai, one was in Aurangabad, these camps. Okay. So going, coming, it was almost 1 month, 1 week lost. Okay. But anyway, we were not worried because we were, thinking that we'll be going to war. We did lot of firing, machine gun firing, the 303 firing, okay, even smoke bombs and all that. But nothing was seen. I mean, January month came and there was no sign of war. So we started struggling with the study, and somehow I cleared that inter-science examination with barely 49% marks. I told my father that I'm going to pass, but I will not score any much amount. But fortunately, my brother was in Mumbai and he had sent me the IIT form, and I had sent that. And then I frantically started studying for JEE. And we were fortunate that we were having more subjects than now which they have. We had physics, chemistry, mathematics, English, general knowledge, and drawing. You see, I was very good in drawing. So maybe that I have scored a lot of marks in drawing. And probably they have probably taken the very good marks in one subject, also admitted, something like that. They never disclosed our marks or anything. But I'll tell one funny instance during that examination. I had to go to Mumbai for facing the examination. Only two of us from Nasik had filled the forms. Okay, so VGTI was the center. So I went one day before and saw where I have to go. And then during drawing examination, one question was railway engine, the old railway engine, steam wala. Very difficult to draw, but I drew that. And the other question in memory drawing was apartment building. I had never heard of this word. I had never seen any. So I asked that invigilator there. He pointed me to a building from the window and he said that sort of building where many families stay. So I made an excuse of going to washroom. I actually went out on the street, saw one building properly, came back and drew it.
I see. I see. So this drawing exam was what? I mean, like our like when we went to engineering, we had this big drawing board.
No. The drawing examination, elementary and second examination, they have papers of geometry in which you have to do some geometrical construction.
I see.
Maybe that you have drawn heptagon or pentagon, okay,
Okay.
and write something in a nice lettering,
I see.
okay,
I
by
see.
hand. Then we had memory drawing in which we had, I told you, three questions were there: lamppost, the railway engine, and this apartment building. And then there will be one symmetry drawing. There will be beautiful design which will have symmetry.
I see.
So you draw that. So these three types of questions. In geometry, we learn geometrical constructions,
Correct.
the
Correct.
memory drawing, and the symmetry drawing.
I see.
So that some and in second examination, we used to have object drawing also. That means they will keep 3 4 objects arranged in front. One of them will be a glass object, and you make a sketch of that
I
with
see.
pencil shading and all that. But that was not there in the IIT examination.
So how from the inter science 49% and then getting this IIT examination and passing it?
Yeah,
I mean, these days that's unheard of, right? I mean,
correct,
if
correct.
a student is getting 49%
Yeah.
and then there is no chance of him passing IIT,
Yeah,
I feel today.
Right,
I mean,
right. No, but those days the mark standards are also very different.
Yeah,
Say, for example, highest marks in my class in that inter science, it was about 68%.
I see.
The highest score obtained by student was about 68%, and three of them got admission in the engineering colleges. Because the engineering colleges, Pune engineering cutoff was about 62% that time. And you will be surprised to know that medical cutoff was 55%.
I see. So
Nowadays,
is a
medical probably closes at some 95, 98.
today,
Government,
yeah,
government medical.
correct.
So
Yeah, yeah, I see what you're saying.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, and maybe the country was going through different phases. So yeah, when was this inter science? What year are we talking about?
1960, I became,
1960.
yeah.
Yeah, and
58,
so
I
we
completed school education,
yeah,
and 1960 was the year. Four IITs were started that time.
I see.
Actually, first IIT Kharagpur started in, I think, 53, and these three IITs started in 58. So mine is the third batch, and in
I see.
fact, mine is the first batch in Powai campus, the present campus. First two
I see.
batches, as we started in Bhausar Nagar and then we shifted. So first two batches, they started in one building in Warali, Mumbai. So there was one Silk Research Institute in which the first two batches were admitted, and third batch we were admitted here. So it was a total jungle that time, and paddy farms, jungle and paddy farms. So there used to be a lot of crabs and snakes. So all the 4 years, first term, gumboots were compulsory. First term is the monsoon season. So gumboots were compulsory because we used to sight snakes and crabs. Of
I
course, I
see.
am from village, so I was not worried. But Mumbai people, they used to get scared. Uh, Hardly any one of them would come out in the dark. It was like that, jungle only. Three hostels building were there, and ground floor of main building was ready, and
I
two
see.
workshop buildings. All other buildings we have walked on that land where they are now.
Somehow, anyway, you did make it to IIT 4 years. College days, how were the college days? Are they anywhere similar to what the college days today? Our college days were distinctly different
Yeah,
from yours, and today is most probably are distinctly different from any of ours.
correct, correct. No,
The,
those days, somehow IIT is like, in campus teachers and students, everybody is there. So, and we had students from all over the country, as we had the first few batches of KK Wag. So initially, there was little bit of diffidence in our mind, those who came from the villages, because we hardly knew any English. I'll tell you one incidence of my first visit to doctor. After about a month or two, I had little bit of fever. So I went to doctor. He was a Bengali person. Sujit is listening, no? Sujit?
yeah, he's there.
Uh-huh. So he held my hand in his. Those days they used to see the pulse also, no? So he saw the pulse for some time, and then his question was, "Do you have cough?" I could not make out anything. Then his next question is shot out, "How is motion?" Motion I've heard only in Newton's law. Okay. So I said, "Wait, doctor." I went out. I called one fellow who knew English, and I said, "You please translate what he's trying to ask me." Okay. So that was my first visit to Bengali doctor. See, cough and that motion. I was completely bored.
Yeah, yeah.
And in class also, we had teachers from all parts of India, and everyone had a different English. See, Punjabi has a Punjabi English, then Tamil has a Tamil English. So it was a difficult time. So one of my friend, he was from Faridabad. After 1 week of our stay, he came and said, "Barve, I'm leaving. I don't understand anything. What is going on in the class?" But I am from a village, so in a village people have